Though father struck down the first three, he was ultimately outnumbered. A single heavy blow took him down. Hiding in the latrine, the siblings trembled in terror. Yet, that was not the end. What happened next was enough to make one's blood run cold. They watched helplessly as father was carried off like game, not even daring to draw a breath. Fearful that he and his sister might be exposed, he clamped his hand tightly over her mouth, so she wouldn't cry out. But their worst fear came to pass. The cannibal leader sensed something wrong with the pit. He leaned over to peer down, but the depths were too dark, and he could see nothing. He reached to pry up the boards, but the young man below held on for dear life, and he couldn't lift them. He had no choice but to wait. Once the cannibals had left, the boy, having survived, discovered his sister's wound was severely infected, but the antibiotics had run out. To stop the infection from spreading, he had to find more medicine. Otherwise, she wouldn't last 3 days. So, he decided to venture out alone. He didn't know the journey would be lethal, or that he would almost lose his life. Hello everyone, this is Laoshi Movies. Today, we look at the British film, 10th Year. It contains almost no dialogue, yet leaves countless viewers suffocating. The film features no flashy effects, nor does it rely on cheap tropes. The director uses raw, bleak imagery to tear away the mask of humanity. The story begins after a global catastrophe. Disease swept across the world, followed by extreme weather. Crops failed completely, and resources vanished rapidly. The survivors, stripped of humanity by hunger, descended into cannibalism, a desperate path of mutual slaughter. 10 years passed in a heartbeat. Every inch of land reeked of death. On the entire planet, fewer than 1,000 survivors remained. The story's protagonist was merely a timid, cowardly ordinary man. He, his father, and his sister hid in a makeshift shack, struggling to survive. His sister's wound was minor at first, but in this wasteland lacking sterilization tools and medicine, the small cut festered. She burned with fever, gasping for breath, her consciousness fading. What drove him to despair was that the antibiotics keeping her alive had run out. Without medicine, she would not last much longer. Watching his weakening sister, he plunged into an agonizing struggle. He was timid and weak. He had never stood up to anyone. He lacked the courage to confront the brutal cannibals. A terrifying thought began to take hold. He slowly raised the pillow in his hands, intending to end his sister's suffering. That way, she would no longer endure the agony of her illness, nor would she become food for the cannibals. But at the moment the pillow was about to fall, he froze. He looked at his sister's frail face, and recalled his father's resolute gaze. If he lost his sister too, he would truly be alone in this wasteland. The meaning of survival would be extinguished forever. Death was certain either way. He might as well fight for his sister, and to honor his father's spirit. He decided to head for the cannibals' camp to find medicine. He barricaded the door of the shack, leaving the last of the clean water for his sister. Then, following the faded bloodstains left by his father, he embarked on this desperate, life-or-death journey. The gray, bleak sky, an ancient, bitter wind. No sign of life in the wasteland. Only endless despair. His strength drained away by the cold and starvation. He couldn't go much further. He collapsed by the river, frozen stiff. As he lost consciousness, on the verge of freezing to death, a young boy playing alone appeared in his field of vision, like grasping at his last straw. He crawled toward the boy. He needed to know where the cannibals' camp was. But the boy was terrified and ran away. He wouldn't give up. Struggling to his feet, he followed him. He eventually found the boy's home. His body had turned purple from the cold. He needed clothes. He needed food. Otherwise, he wouldn't survive long enough to reach the cannibals' camp. He had no choice left. He kicked the cabin door open. He ripped the clothes off the old man. The old man stared at him. His eyes were filled with sorrow and helplessness. He mumbled a question, the only line spoken in the entire film. He could not answer, because in this wasteland, survival by any means is the only law. Though his heart was heavy with guilt for the old man, his sister's life left no room for hesitation. He put on the stolen clothes, his body slowly warming up. He continued toward the cannibals' camp. Before long, he spotted a pile of embers still smoldering. Among the ashes lay scattered human bones. From the tattered fabric clinging to them, he recognized his dead father's clothes. The truth hit him instantly. After the cannibals killed his father, they had turned him into their meal. The picked clean bones were discarded here. A wave of immense grief washed over him. tears streamed down his face. With trembling hands, he dug a shallow pit into the dirt. He laid his father's remains inside. No tombstone, no funeral rite. Not even a prayer. It was the only thing he could do for his father. After burying him, he was exhausted to the point of collapse. Yet he did not rest. He knew. His sister was still waiting for the medicine. He walked for another hour. A makeshift tent appeared in his sight. A glimmer of hope rose in him. He knew this must be a cannibal camp. He approached the tent with extreme caution. Satisfied that no one was inside, he slipped in quietly. Just as he began searching for the medicine, a woman ambushed him from behind. After a brief struggle, he took her down, but he hadn't found the medicine yet, and the cannibal tribe returned. He hurriedly dragged the body outside the camp. Then he crawled to the ground to watch from the shadows. The cannibals had captured the little boy as well. It looked like he was to be their dinner. He wanted to save the boy, but he knew he couldn't do it alone. Just as he was struggling, the unexpected happened. One of the cannibals spotted the axe on the ground. It had dropped when he was dragging the woman's body. Now they were in trouble. A search by the cannibals was immediate. Luckily, he was positioned on lower ground. He quickly buried the woman's body under some dry leaves. Then he circled around to enter the camp from the other side. He quietly untied the little boy. The boy's escape attempt instantly caught a guard's attention. While the guard went to chase the boy, he spotted a locked chest. He kicked it hard a few times, but couldn't break the lock. At that moment, the cannibals began returning from their search. He had no choice but to hide under the camper. He waited in agony until nightfall. Only then did he carefully crawl out. While the cannibal slept, he quietly took the key from the leader's neck. He unlocked the chest. He found the antibiotics, just as he had hoped. To prevent the cannibals from pursuing him, he locked the door of the camper from the outside. He ran back without stopping. But the unexpected happened. His sister was gone. Just as he fell into despair, a hand rested on his shoulder. He had finally protected his only remaining tie to the world. The young man had evolved from someone timid, a survivor living like a dog, into a man who could fight back and bear the weight of responsibility. He was no hero, but in the face of ruin, he gave everything for the one he loved. This world is cruel, and the human heart is complex. Yet a single connection, a single obsession, is what allows us to grit our teeth and carry on. This bond is a light in the darkness, and the very hope that keeps us alive.
Open the Simi TV app and watch the full series now.